Hey guys, Vash with some more pack stuff for you. Next game I'll be talking about is called Lococycle. It's by the guys at Twisted Pixel that brought you Splosion Man and Miss Splosion Man and The Maw and Comic Jumper. Now, Lococycle was the only time that I got to play an Xbox One, and the controller feels like the original Xbox controller, the small one. It's not the fat one, but you know, the small one. It literally feels just like that controller. So here's what I got to say about Lococycle. Lococycle is going to be a Xbox One launch title. I already said it's by Twisted Pixel. It is a motorcycle racing game slash combat. It's so weird. It's hard to explain, but I actually really like Twisted Pixel's games. I love Splosion Man, I love The Maw, I love Miss Splosion Man. My favorite one being Comic Jumper. I actually have a Captain Smiley, which is the main character of Comic Jumper, statue, or a statuette, little figure in my room that's signed by the development team. I really like Comic Jumper. That's probably me and Brain's favorite game by them. Twisted Pixel, their games are very funny. Like, they have a very unique type of comedy to them, and that is what me and Brain, because me and him play them a lot, really like about their games. The problem with Lococycle is, to me, it just isn't interesting. Like, I don't really care for motorcycles. But this is technically not even really a racing game. It's like you just go through the level and you fight enemies. The story is that you play as Iris, which is voiced by Lisa Foyles. She's a motorcycle that looks like the light cycles from Tron. That is, I don't know, is she like a cop or something, or an assassin? I'm not sure. There's like not much information out for the game that I know of. I'm just remembering from what I was told when I went to Twisted Pixel's panel last year. Hooked on to her bike is a mechanic named Pablo that doesn't speak English. So the whole game, like, there's your comedy right there. It's this bike that speaks English, and she's dragging around a mechanic that's, oh, es muy malo, and stuff like, he's just speaking Spanish, and she doesn't understand what the fuck he's saying. So it's like, and that's like her best friend supposedly. To me, Twisted Pixel's games have always been very simple and very, I would say, bland, like gameplay wise. Like, the gameplay isn't extraordinary. It's really simple. It's really, lack of a better word, it's kind of boring. Like, their gameplay is just really plain. It's the comedy and the feel of it that makes you keep playing. Like, for example, Comic Jumper. If Comic Jumper wasn't as funny as it was, that game would not be good at all. It's actually kind of shit. But Captain Smiley and Star, they're like playing off of each other, and then the bad guy with the brain waves, and Brad and his Brad bots, like, that game is really funny, and that's what kept me and my cousin playing it. It was so funny. Lococycle, to me, like I said before, just doesn't look interesting, and it doesn't appeal to me. I don't care for it. When I played the demo at PAX, which I don't have footage of because I had no one to hold my camera, I just have like trailers and stuff that I got. Oh, by the way, Robert Patrick is doing the antagonist, which is, you would know him as T-1000 from Terminator 2. When I first saw Lococycle, I was like, this looks really funny. It's like fucking battling bikes and stuff. And then, like, when I actually got to play it, there was some comedy in the beginning when they're like, they say at the beginning of the trailer, a Lococycle is going to be brought on the most advanced gaming console ever. The best experience, the Xbox One, and then it shows gameplay, and it's like NES gameplay, like really shitty graphics, you know, like old stuff. Like, you know, that was funny. But when I actually got to play the game, Iris is really squirrely. She's really hard to control. When you play games with bikes in them, they're not really loose, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to explain. The only bike games I've ever played was like the stupid ass bikes in Mario Kart and Road Rash, which is a very fucking fun game, by the way. And I need to buy that again on N64 because I lost it. That shit was funny. Road Rash 64, that game cracks me up. But back to the point, is she feels really squirrely, like kind of like the best way I can examine it is like put your hand in some water and then gracefully move it like left and right. That's kind of like how she moves, but it's really hard to get the fuck out of the way of all these cars and stuff when you're moving like water. Like, it's really tough, like a snake. Like, you know, like a snake's got that perfect little like you know what I mean? Like, she's really hard to control. And that's what, since the story doesn't really interest me, and since I didn't really find the game that funny, it had its moments, but like, since I didn't find the game's package, like the story and the comedy aspect of it, that entertaining, I looked directly at the gameplay, and if you can see from watching the gameplay as I talk, it looks really boring. Like, it's really bland. I was about to say bland. It's really plain. It's like you're driving, you're tearing up, like there's guards in cars, you shoot them, then sometimes they jump on you, you press a button to counter them. Sometimes you counter them before they grab you. When enemies get close, you gotta dodge their punk ass lasers, get in, and you do like little bow bow, like just all you do is mash one button to do these ugly ass combos. You can press Y to use Pablo to smack him with his wrench. Like, it's either you're either shooting, driving, slapping stuff around, or countering. And like, you just do it over and over again. And it just, honestly, to me, it just looks boring. The only way I guess that this would get better, well, the gameplay you see here is kind of old. This is like a year old. From when I saw it in person, the only thing I saw that really improved is they had a really nice HUD, and the graphics were a lot better. It still wasn't amazing. Pablo's pants looked pretty good with the jeans, but other than that, the game was just still kind of the same, as you can see. I guess this would be a fun game if it was like 15 bucks. That's literally what it feels like. Like, that's probably what it's gonna be. I don't know. I'll probably play the demo again when it actually releases and see if I decide if I want it or not, because I'm really just not really interested into it. Unless I read some people going like, oh man, there's this one part that's just fucking hilarious, then I might buy it if it's like 10 or 15 bucks, but I wouldn't pay more than that. Sorry, but it just doesn't really interest me. I don't really like it. But yeah, that's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, do you think this game looks interesting? Do you think it's funny? Like, the only thing I thought that was really funny was just the whole relationship between this like super smart bike and a Spanish-speaking mechanic that can't communicate, and he's all like, oh, es malo, muy bien, diablo, and stuff like, he's like, you're like, oh my god, help me, and then she's like, it's okay, Pablo, I love you. Like, I thought that was kind of funny, but I don't think that's funny enough to purchase it. I don't know. I guess it's just kind of like Captain Smiley and Star. They were pretty funny, but they were fucking funny. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. It's gonna be an Xbox One launch title. I also heard that it might be coming out to the Xbox Live Arcade also around the same time. So like, will you guys be getting it? Will you try it out? Does it look interesting to you? Let me know what you think. And I will see you guys in the next stuff I make. Bye!
Do they think it's worth it for all the reckless driving and shooting they must perform?